Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out AmItheA whole. Story 1. AITA for having my son miss his graduating road trip to watch his sibling. My son just graduated high school and we were paying so he could go on a road trip with his friends. He was supposed to go Wednesday. My wife's mother and father got in a car accident. They live in another state, so we had to drive about 4 hours. My wife was a wreck and wasn't in the position to drive since her dad was critical. He pulled through luckily. We have 2 other kids, 11 and 7. We can't leave them at home alone and we couldn't find a sitter to watch them on such short notice. We even tried our neighbors but he couldn't do it. So that left our 18-year-old. He was pissed, to put it mildly, but did it. I told him we would make it up to him, and if he could ask if his friend could move it back a week. They couldn't, sadly. We were gone for 2 days, he pulled though. My wife stayed and I headed back. I paid him for watching the kids and went to talk to him about getting him on the trip. It was supposed to be 2 weeks and they should just be a state over. He blows up about ruining his trip and there is no point going even though it should still 12 days of the trip. He called up a jerk and locked himself in his room. I need another opinion since this was emergency and he doesn't seem to care. His grandparents almost passed. Edit. Well, he called his mom. Let's say it didn't end well. He did say, basically said the same thing he said to me. Wife had a breakdown on the phone with him. She sent him the injuries and pictures of grandpa/grandma. He finally came out of his room and told me he isn't going to go on the trip and the plane tickets aren't needed. Talked to my wife. Never heard her that mad. Son confirmed what happened. He started yelling at her the moment the call started and she lost her shit when he called her selfish. On good news, grandpa has some feeling back in his legs, which was a huge concern. For people saying we didn't have emergency plan, we do. First, my closest friend vacation, main babysitter not available, backup babysitter not available, last resort grandparents hospital. We tried to find someone that why we even asked our neighbor, which I have a good relationship with. Story 2. AITA for saying I would like a push present. Okay, so this happened a few months ago but it still bothers me and I would like some opinions. 2 months ago I, F27, gave birth to my first child with my partner, M31. Leading up to the birth I saw various TikTok videos about men buying their pregnant partners push presents after they'd just given birth. It ranged from expensive jewelry to the partner's fave food that they hadn't been able to eat since being pregnant. I showed it to my partner and said how sweet I thought it was, and jokingly asked what he would be getting me for a push present. He was really dismissive. Just said I wouldn't be getting anything, the baby was the present. I'll be honest, I was kinda hurt by his response. I'm not expecting diamonds or anything, but I feel like a bunch of flowers or something small would be a really sweet symbol of gratitude for the pain I have gone through and still would go through to bring our child into the world. But he was having none of it, and made out like I was really spoiled for wanting a push present. He then bought it up with my mum the next time we saw her and they were both laughing at me, basically again saying I was so spoiled to expect a push present. AITA for thinking it would have been a sweet thing to get a little gift from my partner to show his appreciation of what I would have been through being pregnant and giving birth. Story 3. AITA for disturbing my boyfriend in the shower. So my boyfriend, male 28, got up earlier than me, female 27, this morning. When I woke up I had to pee so badly. Now I could hear my boyfriend was in the shower, so I decided I was gonna wait for him to be done. After 5 minutes I let him know I had to pee really badly, and asked him if he was done soon. After another 5 minutes I was in pain. I was sitting on the floor in front of the bathroom door because I was about to pee my pants and it was hurting so bad. I knocked on the door again. I apologized and said I really had to go. He got mad and got out. I apologized over and over, and explained to him that I almost peed myself and I was in pain. But he would not listen. He was just mad and yelling. When I got out of the bathroom he left, and didn't come back for a while. When he did come back, he was grumpy, and barely spoke. So am I the asshole? I would like to add that the reason I didn't just pee while he was in there, is because he doesn't like seeing or hearing people pee. And doesn't want to be near someone peeing. Also sorry if there are any spelling or grammar mistakes. I am not English speaking. Story 4. AITA for telling my sister her Christmas gift of Mum's 25-year-old ashes was unkind. Mum died when I was 15. I had a dad and 3 sisters, 9, 12 and 15 years older than me. They abandoned me, convinced me I was the problem, and blamed me for the breakup of the family. One sister, Debbie, decided with 2 other sisters to divide Mum's ashes into 4 last weekend, since they had been sitting in a temporary urn in a garage for 25 years. 4 days later, Debbie and I spent 3 hours together having brunch, a swim and a chill at home. Once she was ready to leave, car running, everything packed away, she approached me and said she was going to give me some of Mum's ashes as a Christmas present, but she ran through the idea with her work colleagues and was told it was a terrible idea and extremely fucked up. So instead she told me she would give me 1/4 of Mum's ashes in a plastic baggie instead. She then jumped in the car and drove away. I called Debbie later that night and expressed I was hurt she brought this up at the time she did, and that I had no opportunity to respond or process this information before heading back to work. She responded aggressively, telling me I should be thankful for her thoughtful gesture, labeling me as a victim and abusive for sharing my feelings about the situation. So Reddit, AITA for communicating my hurt and disappointment? How would you react? Story 5. AITA for not giving my friend a surprise for her birthday. So recently one of my friends had her birthday, me and the whole group had wished her at exactly midnight and all had showered her with wishes and posts. Well, surprise surprise, we're shocked to find out that she has blocked us from all platforms and even our numbers the evening of her birthday without any kind of explanation. We were blocked for a total of 6 hours before I managed to reach out to some of our other friends that she had not blocked and convinced her to unblock me. When unblocked she said that she was expecting a surprise and by this we had broken her trust. When she herself had said that she was busy the whole day for her birthday multiple times when we asked. She is very busy and has very hectic work days, so we didn't want to disturb her and therefore planned to surprise her at the meetup the next day. She said that she had also bought party stuff expecting us to show up at her house for a surprise, but obviously no one did. I would like to mention that for some of our other friends' birthdays she did plan a surprise, but I feel like this is pretty childish, and also by doing this we were also forced to reveal the surprise that we had prepared, ruining it. She also told her mom about this, trying to defend us by saying we had other more important things to attend and her mom hates us now. I honestly think this situation is fucking ridiculous, but she isn't talking to me, and when she is she's being kind of cold, and I frankly don't want to lose a 1-year friendship over a fucking birthday. So, AITA. Story 6. WIBTA for not going to my friend's Christmas party because I'm an introvert. Here is the thing. My friend is a super extrovert, and I'm a super introvert. She's a big fan of having 20+ person gatherings, which as an introvert I find stressful and just not fun at all. Many of the people at those parties I usually do not know, as she has a rotating group of friends that is constantly changing. Every year, she hosts a holiday, but, really, Christmas, party that has a ton of people and activities I don't enjoy. One of those activities is playing games, like Guess the Christmas Song, which I find really intimidating because I didn't grow up in the US and I don't celebrate Christmas, don't really know the songs. One year, I was so bad at it that I cried, because I couldn't guess any of the songs and had to stand in front of everyone and embarrass myself. Everyone laughed it off, but I still remember. Next year, when I asked are we going to be playing this game again, she said yes, because it's so fun. I'm sure it's fun for others, but not for me. I thought the tears communicated that enough, but I guess not. So naturally, I don't want to go this year. But then again I'm wondering what if AITA, who can't suck it up and do something for a friend? What's the harm at a party? There is only one Christmas per year. It's not like I have a ton of friends. But then again, I go to these huge gatherings that give me nothing quite frequently, and she doesn't seem to reach out for a one-on-one hang very often. Every time I'm invited to something, there is a ton of people there, which she knows I don't like. What do you say, AITA, for not going to the party just because I don't think it will be fun? Story 7. AITA, because I threw away my girlfriend's gifts to me. I had a birthday a few months, and I told my girlfriend to not get me anything. I didn't want or need anything. That this wasn't a secret challenge to find something I would like. I genuinely did not want any gifts. Of course she gets me some gifts. And I hate them. She got me junk and a responsibility. Two things I don't want more of in my life. She got me this crappy little plastic egg cooker thing. She knows I make hard-boiled eggs in the pressure cooker, and I have expressed before that they come out perfect every time and that I love it. So I don't need some piece of junk as seen on TV replacement. She also got me a small cactus, which I see as nothing more than a responsibility that I don't want. I know cacti are pretty low maintenance, but I just don't care for them, and I have nowhere to put it, and I have a cat who likes to rub on things and push them over. It was a mess waiting to happen, which causes anxiety in me. And the only place to put it was in this one window in my tiny apartment where the curtain always drawn, so it's not like I ever see the damn thing. So I threw it all away. After a few months, these things sitting unused and unenjoyed, just being useless clutter and wastes of money. And now she's mad and has been very distant lately. She said that it was the thought that counted. But I told her that it didn't seem like any thought was put into these gifts. I realize I'm a hard person to shop for, and that's why I expressly don't want anyone getting anything for me. I am very picky. Story 8. AITA, for not paying for my stepdaughter's schooling and college tuition while paying for my children's college tuition. For some context, me and my ex-wife have been married for 10 years and divorced for 5. When we first got married, I had a adopted kid, biologically my sister's son. I raised him cause my sister suffers from partial paralysis from the waist down and in her right arm, so she can't move around without assistance. So when me and my wife got married, we were both 23 and each had 1-year-old children. We decided not to adopt each other's children because my ex-wife would lose child support and I didn't want to risk losing custody of my son in case of a divorce. We divorced 5 years ago and all the assets were split equally, but just mainly a small 2-bedroom apartment. After the divorce, I started my own company and got really lucky when the coronavirus hit, as every major company allowing work from home allowed me to upscale my business rapidly. I now make very good money in the range of mid-7 figures a year. So I decided to set up a fund of around $400,000 that my son would be able to use for college and the remaining for whatever he wanted to do afterwards, and a trust for my son so that he and his mom would be taken care of if I died. Recently my ex-wife has heard about this and claims that I should be setting up a college fund for her daughter cause I should apparently treat them both exactly the same, even though I don't have legal custody of her and have gone almost zero content with them both for the last 5 years, although I was pretty close to her daughter when we were married. Update: from the feedback I got from this post, I realized that I didn't want to be the kind of person that just does things cause they have to, and since my stepdaughter was a massive part of my life, I'm planning on setting up a educational trust she can use at 18 to just pay for college for about half of my son's when I get in touch with a lawyer. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.